Hello, everyone. Today we will be talking about forgiveness. Okay, so as we encounter various situations in our everyday lives, we can't deny that we experience emotions such as bitterness, resentment, vengeance, and anger towards someone who we believe who hurt our feelings or did something that could trigger these negative emotions. So, forgiveness comes when we can voluntarily process and let go of these negative feelings and thoughts toward the person or the entire situation. So, according to evolutionary science, forgiveness and revenge are part of human nature. So these techniques were used during ancestral times for survival. So as time progressed, the people promoted forgiveness more and leaning toward forgiveness instead of revenge. So this is why we can live in a forgiving and less vengeful place. We have this subject, positive psychology, to promote forgiveness, not just to ourselves, but also to influence others. And applying forgiveness also can result in changes in person's cognition and including their behavior, no? Also the person that will hurt us, the victim's behavior and emotional experience. Again, even though how much we practice forgiveness, this doesn't apply to all. And some of us are more forgiving, others are not. And it has been conceptualized that being forgiving is part of our personality trait. Now, I will be presenting to you the three definitions of forgiveness. So first, let's tackle about decision-based forgiveness. Okay, so De Blasio 1998 emphasizes willful decision-making and forgiveness based on willpower. So decision-based forgiveness is the cognitive of letting go of resentment and bitterness and the need for vengeance. So forgiveness is viewed as an act of will, a choice to let go or hold. In this particular model of forgiveness, this implies that we can still experience the feeling of getting hurt. It's more about being firm in your decision to let go of bitterness and forgive the person. The second definition of forgiveness is based on the cognitive model of Thompson, Sender, Hoffman, and Rasmussen et al. 2005. So let's define first what transgression is. So transgression is uh, or like acts of behaviors that are against the law or the norms of the society. So now, how does this relate to the cognitive model of forgiveness? So when we experience these negative emotions and situations, for example, when you get scammed, no, doing something against the person who scammed you will be against the law. If for example, if you do a threat or a physical abuse just to satisfy your heightened emotions. So we all know that it is not appropriate and could potentially imprison us if we do such behaviors to the person that will hurt us. So instead of doing these behaviors to the person, you choose forgiveness and let fate do the work. So in the cognitive model, you'll think first that doing something bad against the person is unacceptable and you just trust whatever happens to the person through faith. And lastly, the emotional forgiveness from Worthington 2006. So he mentioned that once we are done with all the negative emotions we felt during that moment, we will try to move towards completion. So completion is sense that we have all these positive emotions such as empathy, compassion, sympathy, and altruistic love. So, what is forgiveness therapy? So, this is a way to help clients overcome their anxiety, fix their anger issues and emotions of betrayal. And this also help clients who are also suffering from depression. So, not all, no, not all can easily forgive someone. In worst case scenarios, these emotions and thoughts that they have been dealing with throughout their lives could significantly affect their overall mental health. So there is a proposed model by Worthington called REACH to cope with stress and forgiveness to their clients. So the client must target each step of the reach model to achieve the change that they want or that they envision. Okay, so let's start with what this reach model means. So R is R stage. This means that you need to recall the hurt. So you see how difficult the first step is. You know, recalling those emotions that you felt when someone hurt you could um, greatly trigger how you can continue in this therapy, even at the very beginning of of the stage of reach model. No, this is a very difficult thing to do of the client. But if you can move toward or forward and accept those emotions, no, that you felt in the past, no, that you felt those negative emotions in the past, you can proceed to the next step, which is E, meaning E is empathizing with the person who hurt you. So you need to put yourself in the situation of the person who hurt you. Uh, you have to understand, no, and assess what could uh, be the reason why the person made those actions towards you. You need to understand the cause of it and try to understand the person and how they were able to do that to you. Because if you can understand uh, and empathize with a person, you become more objective towards the situation. Then, if you are more objective, fewer negative emotions would be felt on your end. The next stage is A, which gives an altruistic gift of forgiveness. So what do you mean by being altruistic person? So you are being selfless. You are more concerned about other people's needs than your own. So here in the reach therapy, you need to give an altruistic gift of forgiveness to the person who hurt you for free. So this means that you are forgiving the person without any expectations in return. So whether the person asks for it or not, you are giving the forgiveness they deserve. It is not just for your own good, but also for the person who hurt you. The next stage is C, meaning committing to the emotional forgiveness that was experienced. So forgiving someone is not just for one day only, no, but you need to commit. No, you need to promise yourself that you have already forgiven that person for the rest of your life. I know that this is a difficult stage since many triggers can shake your decision towards forgiveness. And this connects to the last stage of reach therapy, which is to hold on to forgiveness when doubts arise. Um, this is the stage where you need to practice and apply it every day. Again, you need to forgive the person genuinely. It's not just through acts, but also forgiving the person, including your thoughts. So the reach therapy has been used to examine a sample of 162 adults in a community randomly assigned to three treatment conditions. So 8 weeks in duration. So a reach forgiveness intervention, which was conducted by Worthington 2006. So a process group and a waitlist control. So in the results showed that the reach forgiveness model might be more helpful for promoting forgiveness with insecurely and attached individuals. So forgiveness-based treatment was more effective than the waitlist control. Of course, when you forgive, we can surely acquire a positive impact on our entire well-being. So as presented on the slide, here are some benefits of forgiveness. So reduction in negative affect and depressive symptoms, restoration of positive thinking, restoration of relationships, reduction in anxiety, strengthened spirituality, raised self-esteem, a greater sense of hope, a greater capacity for conflict management, and a greater ability to cope with stress and find relief. Um, Research also showed that forgiveness is also linked to self-esteem, which is also mentioned in its on the sixth positive impact of forgiveness. So despite the times when a person who has been hurt and has lowered his self-esteem during those times, those negative emotions that he felt during those situation, that particular situation rather, once that person can forgive or was able to forgive, he can train himself to raise his self-esteem. Also, of course, physical health, mental health, and life satisfaction can also increase in those forgiving individuals. So let's promote forgiveness. So the question here is forgiveness a choice? Yes, forgiveness is a choice, even though how much time you will dwell on deciding whether you'll forgive that person or not. So take note that when you decide to forgive, it isn't just on the mental level, but also you have to be aware that once you have granted the decision to forgive that person, this also includes the emotional aspects. No, so you can tell that you are ready to forgive if the mental and emotional aspects lean towards positive emotions. We also have to understand those people who have difficulty in forgiving, especially if the emotions and experiences that they felt were injustice on their part. For example, someone died, someone has been killed, someone got hurt, or any sort of victim of violence. So these people might need a lot of time to heal and accept the situation. So I know that all of us have experiences or currently experiencing situations that have hurt us. In the worst case scenario, it might have already affected us that could trigger issues in our well-being. My takeaway is to reach out for help if you can no longer take it. If you can still handle the situation, I know that it's easier said than done. Just be optimistic, even how small that percentage is. You need to look forward that you will be able to forgive one day. So let me end my presentation with a quote from Richard Moore that forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. I hope that this discussion video, you were able to reflect and learn something from it. So if you have questions or clarifications, you can reach out on my Facebook account. Thank you for listening and have a great day ahead.